first thing the White House does is they go out there and start virtue signaling to take away everybody's guns. Right. Listen to this sheriff. This was live in Florida this morning. They caught 2 suspects. And this sheriff gets raw and real very quickly.
You mentioned the gun. Do we know how the suspect got a hold of the weapon?
Car burglaries. Yeah. Ain't that right?
Whoa.
All the gun laws we got in place didn't prevent it, did it? Neither will any new ones.
Amen.
Because here's the fact. The bad guy's going to get a gun no matter what law you have put in place.
Woo!
Whoa. These juveniles shouldn't even possess a handgun.
Woo!
But they did. And I'll go back to you. Add your question. A simple burglary, as some people will say, but I don't consider anything simple when it comes to a burglary.
I love this guy.
The law allows me, I'll plaster their face up on this page, up on my page, up on media. I will hand it out if the law allows me, because parents have the right to know who their kids are hanging out with and preventing this.
Yes.
Wow. I'm stunned. Rhodes. You know we're cutting this up for a video.
I mean,
it's done. So we need to expand and talk about this a little bit more.
Sheriff Billy Woods is a hero.
I mean, there's been other base sheriffs, but they never just flat out said it like this.
He said,
no gun laws will have prevented this.
The criminals are going to get the guns no matter what laws you put in place.
Of course they will.
Exactly what he said.
It's the same here in Ireland, right? Like we have very strict gun laws over here. No, but it doesn't stop a gangbanger or a drug dealer or any kind of criminal filth out there obtaining a firearm. They'll get their hands on one no matter what.
Yeah,
never.
Like I said this many times. Many people aren't talking about this. Drugs are illegal in this country. We have a drug problem still. Drugs are still getting into the country. Your drug laws are not stopping people from taking drugs. Coolio, we just found out Coolio, a rapper mainly from the 1990s. We found out what he actually died of.
Oh, we did?
Fentanyl OD, George Floyd style. Fentanyl OD.
Oh.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
They called it accidental. And there was some other stuff in there too. Yeah. Your gun laws.
You say like America's got a drug problem and all that, like, don't forget, you've got about 22 states in America that legalizes cannabis as well.
I thought it was probably a little bit more than that. I'm not sure.
No, it's 22.
Okay.
I Googled it. Yeah. Now,
It's just,
illegal
my views on marijuana is they should be some. I'm going to be honest here now. I use it. It's mainly for medical reasons, because I do suffer from chronic pain.
Here's the article for what he was actually referring to. Florida police arrest 2 suspects in murders of 3 teens. Did you guys see this?
No, I did not. I have not heard this.
Hunt, they're still looking for a 3rd suspect, but that's what his news conference was about. They caught 2 of the guys. The Florida authorities have made 2 arrests in connection to 3 killings of teenagers in rural Marion County around March 30, but have been unable to locate the 3rd suspect. Marion County's Sheriff's Office arrested 2 juveniles, one whom is just 12 years old. The other is 17, according to Fox 35 Orlando. I will say this. He also, I believe he also said, or I saw it trending, he wants them tried as adults.
Oh, they should be.
And they should be, yeah. In connection with the triple homicide, a 3rd 16-year-old suspect is at large. That was what he said. We just saw that right there. The 3 suspects fled the scene, but left a lot of evidence in their wake. The suspects are part of a larger group who have been involved in burglaries, robberies, according to the sheriff. It should be noted, and he said it, they got the gun from the robberies.
Yeah.
Breaking into shit, they found the gun, and they took the gun. You see how that works? That's how criminals get guns, is they steal them. because they're criminals, for
Yeah.
crying out loud.
Now, leftists
Cool.
want you to believe that all these criminals out there are getting them by legal means when they're not.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. We have nothing to say it was nothing to say that it was any rivalry or anything to that to such that cause. However, each and every one of them was associated in some shape, form, was associated in some way with a gang. There is no honor among thieves, and at this point, these individuals turned out to be our 3 victims, and they murdered them. The sheriff added that he had to, quote, stare into the eyes of the suspects' mothers, who were, quote, willing to give their sons everything. Wow. Am I reading that right? He had to stare into the eyes of the suspects' mothers, who were willing to give their sons everything. So it sounds like the parents' mothers were covering for him. Is that right? Is that how I'm reading that?
Could be.
Yeah, yeah.
On Thursday evening before their arrest, the fact is society fails them. We do not hold our juveniles accountable. Amen. We minimize their actions, he said. The 3 deceased teenage friends, 17-year-old male and 2 16-year-old females identified as Layla Silvernail and Camille Quarles, were shot and left for dead in Rural County north of Orlando sometime between March 30 and April 1st. That's crazy. That is just nuts. Authorities transported the teenager to the hospital in critical condition, and she lost brain function until she was pronounced dead. Jesus. A day after finding Silvernail, MCSO deputies responded to Southeast 94th Street and Southeast 188th Court and located a deceased 17-year-old male with a gunshot wound. Wow. The next morning, let's see, Major Crimes Unit, Forensic Unit, Underwater Recovery Team responded to the area Maluka, I hope that's right, Loop and Maluka Loop Trace, and found Layla's vehicle partially submerged in a body of water. The suspects were in Silvernail's vehicle. Quote, she was there of her own free will. And then it goes on to talk about they got the search warrant and went looking for the guys, basically, is where we're at from there. But I wanted people to have context for the rest of that video.
Man.
Of what actually was going on, why the sheriff was up there, why he was talking in that way. And I got to tell you, they want to talk about how repulsive these acts are, and they are absolutely repulsive.
They are.
But we've got to quit blaming the guns. We really do. Yesterday, we did a video. We talked about Jason Whitlock and the fact that we're not coming together as a country on certain issues. Guns is another one, brother.
Yep.
We are not coming
Absolutely.
together on you're not taking our guns away. Because
And it's not it's not even that, I would say. I would actually say that the left and all these activists are saying the guns are the problem. No, we got a people problem. We have a people problem because the video that I'm gonna put out on Premiere, since YouTube demonetized it.
When you got DAs in America getting paid off by Mr. Soros, that don't help either.
He's not wrong
True.
there. I mean,
True.
you're light on criminals to begin with now. You're light on criminals to begin with in certain states. Look, we know who pulls the trigger. It's criminals. Criminals are going to obtain weapons by any means.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Legal or not legal, they're going to get a hold of them. And the motherfuckers want our weapons, so we are defenseless.
Exactly.
That's what they want.
Of course they do, yeah.
What happened in Houston a few weeks ago? That grandma at a food truck had a gun. The criminal had a gun. Guess what? He's 6 feet under because she killed him. defending
Blasted
herself.
his ass. Yeah.
And
Self-defense.
his gun jammed. So imagine if she didn't have a gun. We would actually be talking about her, 53-year-old woman being killed by a criminal for $40. That's all she had in the register.
Second Amendment at work.
Yeah, that was classic Second Amendment. But
Right there.
if this was in Alvin Bragg's district in New York,
She'd be locked up right now.
She'd be locked up right now because there was a guy last week. He actually shot a guy, defended himself. They actually tried to charge him with second-degree attempted murder. I mean, that's
Okay.
how crazy these people are. The
that's
charges
the
got
second-
dropped, but still.
That's the second time that's happened up there
Speaking of
because
Greg, that cocksucker needs to be put inside himself.
they charged the Boyega owner.
Yeah, but
the guy
New
that was
York.
working in the store
Yep.
that defended himself against the man and the woman that come in there and they started beating the shit out of him.
Yep.
And he
I
defended
saw the
himself
video.
with a knife. They tried to charge him with straight up murder. They charged him with straight up murder. What happened to him?
I'm not really sure.
Ooh.
But that just shows you how extreme New York City is. Now, Houston is still run by the left. But even Houston wasn't that crazy to actually charge that woman with murder. There was nobody out there saying she needs to be locked up. Now, granted, she was a black woman too now. And of course, the guy was also black. Now, I'm wondering though, if the owner was white and the criminal was black, I'm wondering if that would have been a different narrative. Probably not, because Houston is not New York, even though Houston is still run by the left. But New York is just that extreme over there.
A New York judge dropped those charges
Yeah.
against that guy.
Yeah. And remember, it's actually New York going after Trump.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Same guy. That's how crazy
Well,
they are.
What does that tell you? I mean, what does that tell you? But yeah, it's at the end of the day, part of it is they very much don't want us to be able to defend ourselves. And I hate to break it to these people, but they ever come to a place like Florida or New York or Texas, our sheriffs are on our side. Very much so. Very much. They're on our side. Our sheriffs are on our side. A lot of these sheriffs have flat come out and said, we're not taking people's guns. They refuse to do it. I can tell you, I know some sheriffs. They're on our side of this thing when it comes to things like trying to regulate gun laws and all that. No.
I remember even during the whole Wuhan virus thing, out here, Lena Hidalgo, radical leftist,
That's right.
said that if you don't wear a mask, you can actually be arrested and fined. The police came out. I can't remember if it was Houston police or Harris County Sheriff's. They said, no, we're not arresting anybody for that. Yeah, we'll tell them, hey, go wear your mask, but we ain't arresting or finding nobody. That's how crazy these leftists are. They want you to bend the knee completely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure right now.
It was a different case in Europe, though. They're enforcing mask mandates everywhere.
Yeah.
England wasn't so bad. Like Germany, you still have to wear them in public transport, which is absolute bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, these mask mandates were illegal anyway here. They were illegal.
You know, also apparently now, because my wife works in retail for years now, when she did the COVID training and all that, they were told they weren't allowed to approach anyone that wasn't wearing a mask.